Hi, I'm Officer Scott St. John with the Lake Havasu City Police Department, and it's Car Seat Safety Week, and we're talking about car seat safety today. With me, I have Sabrina, who brought in her car and car seat along with her child to make sure that she's doing things correctly. So we're just going to talk a little bit about car seat safety and car seat requirements. First, let's talk about the legal part of it, because we're police officers and we love the legal part of it. Number one, every child must be in a car restraint system under the age of 5 years old. If they're over 4'9" and between 5 and 8 years old, they don't need to have a car restraint system any longer, and over 8 years old we lose the requirement. If they're under 2 years old, they must be in an infant restraint system, which is rear facing, which actually protects the spine, because in a crash we don't want the big head to fly forward. It flies back into the car seat, and that way it protects them. So the first thing we're going to do is Sabrina has a two-door vehicle here, and we have the base for the car seat here, and she has it mounted in the car, so we're just going to take a quick look at it to make sure it's mounted correctly. Okay, we're in the car now, and Sabrina has a convertible style seat with a base and the seat portion. The advantage of the seat is you can install the seat portion in your car relatively easily, and then the seat itself snaps in and out of the base, making it easier to take your child into the store or into the house or wherever you're going to go without having to always unstrap them from the seat portion. And many of the grocery carts today will take the seat portion and actually snap into that. With Sabrina's style, there are mounting attachments in the back seat of the vehicle. And I don't think I can get this up, but behind this area of the seat, there are actually car seat mounts that we can use. In this particular model, it uses a strap underneath the stays of the base unit, and if you see here, you can see that it's snapped into the attachment for the vehicle. This holds the seat into the vehicle. Now, when this seat is properly mounted and snapped in, according to the manufacturer's directions of the seat and the vehicle, what happens is it limits the movement. Now, according to the guidelines, it's from the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration, they don't want this seat moving more than an inch to the forward or side to side. And that's not twisting it, that's actually side to side. When the car seat's in, if there was another type of collision, the car seat itself would keep the seat in place. So this is a properly mounted seat. We can see that it's snapped in. If I were to unsnap it, I could bring out the whole base, but we really don't need to do that. What I'm going to do now is grab the seat itself. Now, we have here our guest baby until we get back in the shade and show you how to properly mount it in the seat, but our guest baby is not properly mounted into the seat itself. The lower strap is not attached in any way, just the shoulder straps are mildly in place. You can leave the handle up. It's always a good idea to leave the handle up, and then if it's sunny, you can even shield your child in the back seat. Since this is rear facing, we want our guest baby to face the rear, and we can take this seat, and when it's properly snapped in, you can feel the front fall into place, and if you look here, there's another attachment here where the seat itself snaps into place. Now, the angle is also important because we don't want our infant to be at the wrong angle for their delicate spine and neck. This is the angle indicator of our seat, and it's pretty easy to use, and you can adjust the angle with the snap-in mechanism on the bottom. But we can see here the correct is not to see any lines in here at all. Wrong would be to see any portion of any line in either of the holes. So if we're going to look at it and we change the angle of the seat, we can see that our angle is now incorrect if we had the seat mounted in this fashion, but now we lose that and we become correct. Now, with this seat mounted in place here, it's going to protect the child in any kind of a collision. With the seat back in the proper place, it keeps the seat even tighter in the seat. But it's an easy way to get your child out of the car for normal, everyday shopping and in and out of the house. We're going to move up to the baby now and show you how to properly strap the baby into the seat. We're back here. We're inside the police station where it's a little cooler for baby right now. She's smiling. And we're going to talk about the seat itself. Now on this seat, So what Sabrina has is she has a little adapter mounted into the seat. This is something that you can get at most of the discount stores and things like that, or any of the baby shops. And what this does is it puts like a log roll around the top of the head, so that when her head is in here, instead of the big seat where it could bounce from side to side, her head won't bounce from side to side here very much. Now we have her shoulder straps and we have her leg straps, and we have the bottom strap here that we're going to do. And Sabrina's going to put her baby in here, and she's going to start putting the straps on, and I'll just kind of talk us through it a little bit. See how this keeps her head in one place so she can't move it around too much, because we don't want it flopping around on corners and things. Okay, these are the shoulder straps, and she's got little safety things on here so that the baby has something to visually stimulate her while they're driving, and it keeps her a little bit more secure. This is the chest strap, and that will mount in to keep the straps tight so that they can't slip off of her shoulders. And then we have the lower straps here that mount into the lower harness. And what those do, if you have a degree in this, you actually can figure out how to put them together and snap them in. But usually by the second or third day that the baby's home, the mother and father can take that in and do it in about 3 seconds. Now, one problem that I even set up here for us is these shoulder straps are way out. We don't want our baby to be able to move that much in case of an emergency or a crash, but here we have the tightening strap for the whole setup. And if we look at the back of the seat, well, I'll do that when she's strapped in really well to show you how well it works. But we can tighten these shoulder straps here right from this spot and get it so that they're nice and snug and she's not going to go anywhere at all. And we'll be real happy, won't we? She agrees. So, we also have a carry handle on most seats that allow you to carry it in and out. I like to leave the carry handle up when they're in the car because it limits the movement of the seat base up. We also have some more visual stimulation here too. Now, just to show you a little bit, on the back of the seat, these are the shoulder harnesses. This is put together properly, and then the strap that goes down to that tightening area down here on the bottom. And this keeps her in. If you look right now, she's standing up, and we're good to go. She's not feeling that at all. So, this is a properly installed baby in a properly installed car seat on a properly installed base. So we are good to go, and Sabrina, you've done a great job.
Thank you.
This is a convertible car seat. It can go forward, face forward, or rear. It has a tether, and we'll go over the tether and the minor differences in this seat. Actually, the seat itself has pretty major differences. It has a restraint system for a younger child right here that you can snap out and put in a different one at a time when the child grows. It also has padding on the side, so this is set up for an infant right now, which is what Sabrina's baby is. She has a towel in there also to help with the angle of the seat. The restraint system is essentially the same. It has a chest strap, and then it has a configurable lower strap that you have to be able to snap in together. It mounts in the same way as you can see on the side of the seat down here. It snaps into hooks on either side, and for convenience they have it mounted into the center of the vehicle. With this seat, the hooks are located underneath the bottom of the seat, and they just snapped it in there and tighten it down, and it's a properly mounted seat. I just wanted to go over the differences with this seat. Now, what makes this seat truly convertible is this seat can be rear facing the way it is now for an infant under 2 years old, or it can be forward facing for when they get older, which is a great advantage, and they have different shells inside where you can adjust them for the size of the child. Now, if we look up here, with this convertible seat, it's the seat itself, so if you're going to take the child out of the car, you're probably going to want to unstrap the child to take them out of the car. It does not have a base that the seat removes from, so you'd have to remove the whole seat using the clips each time. It makes it a little more difficult. But in many cases, as the child grows, they'll get in and out of the seat by themselves, and you won't be worried so much about carrying the seat around. In the National Highway Traffic and Safety Administration guidelines, it talks about the tether, and that's what I wanted to talk about here. If you're going to put it in the forward-facing mode, it must be tethered. This is the tether here on the back of the seat. They actually have it clipped in, and they have it rubber banded up. I'm not going to detach it. But this is the clip itself that's mounted into the bottom. They don't use the tether in the rear-facing mode, but in the front-facing mode to keep the top of the seat from moving, you would use the tether. Now, in the back of the car, on the top, is a little plastic door that everybody says, what the heck is that for, that doesn't have kids? And I'm going to put this headrest as far up as I can get it. If I can, there it goes. I even take it out. Perfect. This is the attachment point for the tether. If you look in the back of most newer model vehicles, you will actually see an attachment point like this up at the top. If you just lift up the little cover, you can see underneath here is a metal attachment point for the tether that just snaps right onto that. And when it's properly tethered in the forward-facing mode, back here, the front of the seat won't be able to come forward, keeping the child secure in the car.
Good afternoon, I'm Officer Sabrito. I'm here with Heather Bratko and little sleeping baby Kaylee in our child restraint seat, which is our topic for this afternoon, is child restraint, safety, and the proper installation in vehicles. As you can see, this child seat is very similar to the one that we just previously looked at. However, we have the sleeping baby inside whom we don't want to disturb. So we're going to now talk about how to properly install this child seat in a vehicle that does not have a pre-set safety base to hook the child seat into. So we're going to take baby and child out to the vehicle and talk about that way of installing the car seat. And we do have a convertible this time with us, so it'll be a little easier to see exactly what we're doing outside. Okay, so as you can see, we do not have a base in this vehicle, but we can still use our car seat, and we're going to show the difference of how to install that. So Heather is going to bring Kaylee, who is still sleeping soundly and happily, and we're going to put the seat in just like so. And we're going to now take the seat belt with the lap part only and hook that through the area like so. I'm going to come across, get it through the other side. Hopefully it doesn't bother her hands too much right there. Secure the buckle. Now, what we want to make sure that we do on the reverse side is check our stabilizers again and make sure we have the right angle. So I've made an adjustment. When I first put the seat in, we could see that it was in the wrong position due to what we can see in the little windows. So all we have to do is make our adjustment and check, and we can see that it all looks good with the stabilization. If necessary, you can even use a towel underneath to get the correct angle for the car seat, for the baby to be in the correct position, for the best support for their head in the event of an accident. Myself, Officer Donna Sabrito, and Officer Scott St. John, thank you very much for joining us to discuss Child Safety Car Seat Program. And we want to welcome you and invite you, if you have any questions in the future regarding your own personal child seat restraint system, to come on down to the Lake Havasu City Police Department, and we'll be more than happy to help you out.